recalculating all my finances.
Dude,
like I could
that's
save
exactly-
a lot of money.
That's exactly what I did too. I was like, I got paid last week and I was trying to buy something. And I was like, wait, what happened to all like the money I made? And I looked at my credit card bill and I was like, oh, dude, I'm like eating out every day, bro. I can't do this shit.
Yep.
So, all right, everybody, welcome to Hot Couch Potato, the podcast where we talk about video games and being cold-blooded. My name is Brent, aka Boo-Wop. I'm here with my man's Rick, aka A New Perfect Day. What's going on, man?
It's hot, and I spent my day. I just learned that I dislike doing this, but I don't like moving furniture. And
Wait, you just learned
three,
that?
well, because it was always in the back of my mind. But two things that I always thought I didn't like, which was digging and painting.
Okay,
now
wait.
I think furniture moving is coming up to the top of the list.
When was the last time in your life you've dug something?
Like in I think the start of high school, and I never done it ever again because I didn't like it.
I was gonna say, we live in Southern California, San Diego. That's not a natural occurrence, dude. You don't just dig too much, man.
Exactly. That's why I learned that I will never do it again.
What was the other one? Digging.
Painting.
Oh, okay.
Because
Really?
you have to like be precise, but then sometimes you miss walls and stuff like that, and then you got to repaint it a second time, and yeah. So furniture moving, I thought that was okay. Like, of course you just move, and it'll happen one time or once a day or whatever. But anyways, my sister asked a lot of us to help her move furniture, and the thing is with my sister, she got addicted to this app, and it's called Offer Up.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that before. Where people put their stuff that they want to give away for free, or do they
That
pay it for
or
money?
sell it.
Okay.
They just want to get rid of it, and you just visit to these people's homes and stuff and whatnot.
Sure.
And they sell some furniture is like pretty good actually, and they sell it for like dirt cheap, like maybe $10, $50, whatever the price is and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, she got so addicted. We ended up like picking up so many different desks and
Oh my-
tables
wait.
and stuff like that.
What?
Because
I thought you said or meant she got addicted, as in now she's giving away all of her stuff.
No.
She's getting addicted in buying and picking up everything.
Yes.
Oh my God, bro.
So we ended up picking up like really heavy desks. And the thing is, my sister has like a 2-story house, and it sucks because she wants all of the furniture upstairs. So I can understand the desk if it's like a normal desk, but the desk she got that we ended up moving is like really heavy. It's made out of like real wood, real oak wood or whatnot. It has like marble and all the cabinets, and it was very difficult, and we were almost passed out. There's a couple times where I almost threw up. So the thing is, that wasn't even that was just the pre-warm-up game. Just moving a bunch of desks to the top floor. The actual thing was we had to move all of her furniture out of her room, and of course it's on the first floor. We had to move it downstairs, and that was already difficult enough because all of her furniture is like really, really heavy because it's the real wood. And
Does she have like a curving staircase too?
Yeah, it curves
that
at the
makes
very bottom.
Yeah,
so
that
it's
makes
kind
it
of
100
difficult.
times
It's like,
worse.
yeah, because you have to lift it over the railing and whatnot. And I was like, oh god. So basically, we moved all that stuff down. We were really exhausted. That was the pregame. So we had to go pick up a lot of furniture, a whole bedroom set of furniture from I don't know where, but basically went into this person's house. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be quick. And we go inside, and all of the furniture are exactly like her old furniture, which was extremely heavy. Like the headboard is like almost the size of half a room, and it's just crazy, ridiculous heavy. So we're like, oh, we're sorry to counting. Like all of the furniture is like, I think it's like a bed set, two drawers, and like a long dresser or whatnot. And then we thought we were done, but then it turns out there's more furniture in the closet, and I was like, oh my god, we're never gonna leave. So we ended up to the point where we were moving all the furniture downstairs from this stranger's house downstairs into the truck, and we're like, okay, God, this is only halftime. We got to move it into my sister's room. You know, if we were struggling going downstairs, and the stairs of the stranger's house was not curved, it curved like 4 times or something like that. It went in like a U-turn. Yeah. So we were trying not to hit the walls and whatnot, but basically I was so weak that when I was drinking my Coke, I was like lifting my Coke up in the air and I was kind of walking, but then my legs kind of gave out, and then I tripped and fell and I poured the Coke all over my face. And I was like, yeah, because I was
died.
Yeah, my left leg, it was giving out, so like I tripped over like just nothing, and then I fell kind of forward, and I caught myself on the U-Haul truck. But then by the time my hand hit with the Coke, it splashed some more in my face, and I was like, oh God. I was looking forward to drinking this, and then now I have to drink this flat Coke with all Coke all over my face. And everyone saw it, so they were laughing, and I was like, okay, that's fine, let's go, let's get out of here. So when we bring the furniture to my sister's house, and I'm like, oh man, that was only the halftime. We still gotta lift it up the stairs, which was heavy enough. You know, it's like this is not your cheap IKEA wood, you know, made out of paper and whatnot, but it was ridiculously like the real stuff. And that I spent my entire Sunday just going upstairs lifting furniture when it's identical.
She bought you dinner or something?
Oh yeah, she bought us dinner, which was Epic Wings and Things, which is really good. It was so good. You know, I was starving, but that's a strategy. You know, you starve out your helpers, and about the end of the day, then you feed them. You know, so they can feel appreciative of the fast food. But basically, yeah, dude, it was crazy. It was, and it's just the furniture she threw out. It was identical to the one she brought in. So I was like, that made no sense. And so, so now we're trying to ban her from going to the OfferUp. Yeah,
just delete it from her phone. Lock her phone, dude. Lock down.
Exactly. I was
Don't let her go on the internet no more.
Password. Yeah. Try to make a card decline somehow. I don't know. It's just golly.
You know, I'm 100% with you too, man. Moving sucks, man. I think next time I move, I'm gonna hire people. Yeah. Yep. Because I feel bad asking people, because I don't want to do it myself, but to drag someone else into it too? Hell no, dude. Shout outs to Alan. I think Alan helped me move last time, man. He definitely didn't have to do that. I felt so bad, bro. You can tell too. Halfway through, he was trying to leave. He's like, "Oh, I got something going on, man. I think I gotta go." I was trying to offer him food and stuff, like your sister was.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh no, I'm okay, man. I'll just go." I was like, "All right, we're done." But
yeah, and then I think my sister today, when we picked up a desk, she went back to the owner, whatever, wherever she picked up the desk, and she picked up a free sofa, free couch, and whatnot. And we're like, okay, cool. Where are you gonna put this? And it turns out, you know, as the light hit the sofa inside the U-Haul, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just take it to the dump." I was like,
"Oh my."
Because she got it for free, you know, so it's like not really a loss, but I'm like, oh.
Just could have avoided that whole trip, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, dude. Well, I mean, while you were out there moving, doing God's work, you know, I was inside finishing The Messenger, dude, because that game is amazing, man.
Nice. How you like it?
Dude, I think I loved it, actually. I think I took a 2-week hiatus from it because I was playing Spider-Man. You know, the reason I played it was because I bought Hollow Knight on PlayStation. It was only $11, I think, and it came with all the DLC. I've just been hearing amazing things about this game. I think you were telling me about some reviews that people just made Reddit accounts so they could comment on how great the game was.
How great the game is.
Yeah. So I had to pick it up. I loaded it up. I was about to play, and then I realized The Messenger is still in my backlog, dude. It's a platformer, the same as Thing. I can't jump into this without finishing that first. So I come to realize I was really only halfway through the messenger, man. There's
exactly.
a lot to do still. Yeah.
We thought we were done, but then it was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah.
No, that game is. I think we bought it for what, $15, $20?
$15, I think it was.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, if that's the case, it's definitely worth the money, man. Because where I stopped playing was when it turns into an adventure game where you gotta revisit all the maps and go to different screens you weren't able to go to before because you didn't have certain abilities, or now you can, now certain walls are removed since you could travel between the past and the present. Some things decay and all that stuff.
Exactly.
I'll admit it took me a while. I was definitely dying for a good 2 hours before
I
remember how to play.
Some of them became really tricky later in the levels. You got to use your timing and jumping and gliding. Oh, God.
There was one. What was it? There was this one puzzle you had to do where you had to use your hook, and then after you hooked, you had to do a attack and jump off of a lantern to another hook to another lantern till it just changed, when it zigzagged and went up. And the first time I saw this, I was like, all right, how am I going to tackle this? I was just kind of assessing the situation, and I figured the best way to do it was just to hold jump so I had my float momentum and then attack and just keep going,
Yep.
Do it, and I finished that part in 2 seconds. I was like, oh, man, I'm the best, dude. I'm such a god at this game. The next screen, I think, is the same thing, except there's a spike on the floor or one of those swinging balls with spikes on it or whatever.
Huh.
I was stuck on that part for like 30 minutes. I was like, wait. So I thought I was all good. And then I would just run into something else and I just get torn up. But no, I mean, once you get all the upgrades, dude, that game isn't too bad, man. I was able to buy everything, all the upgrades. The only thing I wish is that there were more bosses in the second half of the game. Because you fight a butterfly thing. Which was a super easy fight. I think I beat that on the second try. You fight a floating robot butler, which you're on the dragon and you're just shooting shit. So that
one was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I beat that on the first try. And then what else is there? And then the final boss, right? And then that's it?
I think so.
Those are the only bosses you fight after the second playthrough. So yeah, it's kind of weird. I did not follow the hints or anything at all. I think what I did is I just looked at the map, looked at what parts of the map I hadn't uncovered yet, and just went to those parts. And as I did that in each area, it kind of unlocked the next part of the story. Like, there was stuff I didn't know I was supposed to do that I was doing. I go to the very beginning and I pick up these seeds. I'm like, okay, I gotta plant this somewhere. 5 hours later, oh, hey, I can plant this here. I was like, oh, okay. I forgot I was supposed to do that. I was saving all these guys to build a bridge for me. I didn't even know I was supposed to save them. I was just talking to them.
Dude, yeah. And running on the lava with your ninja skills.
Oh, yeah. Discovering that there's like 3 or 4 completely new areas, too, that you find by discovery, too, right?
Yeah.
That was such a weird quest where you had to get these seeds from the past, plant them in the past so that they grow in the future. You time travel to the future to get the plant, and it's supposed to make a tea, right? That'll give you the sight of the gods or something. I think the guy explains it as, right? So you give the tea back in time, back to the person that gave you the seeds, and he goes, thanks, man. Here's this candle. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I was going to get this tea that would give me some ability. You're just going to give me a candle? Had no idea what I was using the candle for, right? And then you end up in this level that's just completely pitch black. You can only see a few frames in front and behind you. And I'm like, oh, this is what I needed the candle for.
Yeah, and they call it the sight of the gods or something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? There was no reason for me to plant this candle. Shit. Yeah. Didn't make any sense at all, man. Well, that game definitely took a turn. I think because I think you explained it, that the difference between the past and the present in that game is the past is in 8-bit and the future. The past is in 8-bit and the future is in 16-bit, right? Like the graphics.
Yeah.
I noticed that way more as I was playing. You could see The color spectrum is a lot wider. You know, if you go
Yeah.
back to 8-bit, there's like 5 colors on the screen at once. You go to 16-bit, everything has shadows and is like multicolored and everything like that. There's a lot more frames of movement. You know, the ninja starts breathing if you're in 16-bit. If you go in 8-bit, he's just standing there whenever you're idle.
Yeah, and the music changes.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh,
awesome.
and that's the thing too, which is crazy to me because, you know, usually what is it? You travel through a time portal, right? And the whole environment just changes from past to future, and that's how the music changes as well. But then there's portions where you hit something, you hit a little fairy, and only a small part of the map is in the future, and a small part of the map is in the present. So
Yeah.
you're continuously going in and out of these 2 times, and the music changes as often as you jump in and out of these spots. It's kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, dude. It's pretty sick just the way they thought about, you know, instead of 2-bit going left and right, you just going back and forth from the past to the future. I think they're trying to break the fourth realm or fourth dimension kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't get. Did you get all those green coins?
No, not yet. I want to
There
know
was-
what's in that
Yeah.
chest.
Me too. I hope it's worth it. I definitely. There was some parts where I went to because I bought all the upgrades, so it unmarks all those spots on the map where the coins are.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely went to a couple of those rooms, looked at it, and immediately left. I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna put myself through this." You know, it has like the spinning buzz saws, no floor, only one hook, so you have to find out how to navigate through all this bullshit. Yeah, there was definitely parts I skipped once I went into the room, dude.
Yeah, I think there was one in the Sky Temple, and there's no floor, and you have to use the walls and 2 hooks or something like that, and then you have to use fireballs in order to. You have to smack the fireballs at a certain time in order to float upwards, and I'm like, I think I spent almost an hour just trying to get that green coin. You know, it's just I wasn't even after the green coin. I was just like irritated that I couldn't do this. You know, I was like. This is my first challenge that I can't do. Impossible. I just spent an hour.
You know what I found too? I found that while playing this game, and you were just explaining it was hot today, so maybe that makes sense too. But when I was playing this game today, I was sweating, man. All this jumping and timing and stuff. My hands started to sweat. I could see it on the controller, man. So maybe I'll use your excuse. It was just hot today, dude.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the only thing I wish. I wish that there was more bosses for sure. They definitely utilized the time travel really well, I think, in the boss fights. What else was there, man? Dude, that chase scene when you're in the abyss. You remember that part?
Oh yeah.
There's this
That one was
side-scrolling
pretty
level.
crazy.
Yeah, where the end game, or how does this game start? The game starts, you're supposed to deliver this scroll to you're the messenger, and you're supposed to deliver the scroll to the next messenger. It's like this loop of a curse that happens every 500 years. So you get it from the previous messenger, travel 500 years to the next spot, and then give it to the next messenger, right?
Yep.
It's kind of like the beginning quest. The next quest about that is you forget to like hook up the next messenger with this guy that grants him eternal life, basically, you know? So he dies, and the whole cycle of the messenger is kind of interrupted. So it's up to you to fix it. And in order to fix it, you got to find these music notes or whatever. So that's what the whole second half of the game is revisiting all the maps again, but looking for these music notes instead. Like we explained, there's 2 new maps that weren't in the first run through of the game that open up. I think there's that underwater temple where you get the shoes where you can run across water. Those were so gangster, dude. I love those so much.
That was pretty. And then you just discovering you can run across lava. I was like, how am I gonna get across? And then I was like, maybe if I run. And dude, it was just sick.
Yeah. And then because it gets cool too, because then there's parts where lava shoots up, so you got to time your run for the lava, because you can't stop, right? Once you stop your momentum, you fall into the lava.
You fall into the lava, yeah.
Yeah. So you have this lava that shoots up, rocks that are falling from the ceiling. You got to time your run, and once you time it perfectly, you're just running. Everything's falling around you. Just stop at the end, sweating. I can't believe I made that, dude. Well, yeah, there's that underwater temple. I think there's that. There's like a turquoise forest or something where reminded me a lot. I talked about this before. Lion King, where in Lion King you gotta roar at monkeys so that they turn around and throw you in a certain direction. And this one you had to hit these bouncy flowers so that it bounced you in the right direction. You remember that part?
Yeah.
That part was a cool little puzzle as well. There was a sky tower where you flew on a dragon and had to take down shield generators and things like that. So you're doing all this to find these music notes. And then you finally kill the Demon King, spoiler alert. There's going to be spoilers throughout this whole thing, by the way, because we finished a bunch of video games this week, dude. So you kill the Demon King, but you haven't found the last note. So that confused me. I was like, wait, I didn't find the last note. Was this an optional thing? Why are they making me do all this stuff if all we have to do is kill the Demon King? So we take his crown, and that opens up this portal to the abyss where there's, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty simple enough. The environment's super weird. There's like eyes on the floors and the walls and shit that are just following you and blinking. It's super eerie.
Dude, yeah.
But you go through this level, it's easy. It's not particularly hard. There's no crazy jumping puzzles or anything at all, right? I think the only real mechanic there is there's these fairies that if you hit them, they open up a pathway for you, you know? So you're walking this whole way, and this is just an example of how this game is so great. So you're walking this whole way, hitting these fairies, seeing what paths they open up, and just going to the end of the level, which is fairly easy. There's some bosses, no jumping puzzles at all. You get to the end of the level, and there's a final note. So I go, oh, okay, easy peasy. You know, expecting the game to teleport you back to kind of the hub area after you get this last note. No, a giant, I don't know, whale monster demon thing.
Anti-tentacle monster.
Anti-tentacle monster. It legitimately scared me the first time it popped up, dude, because you don't know what you're looking at. You know, you've never seen anything like this in this game at all. Just a huge monster pops up on the whole right side of the screen, and you just run. You know, you got to run the whole way you came, and you start to see, oh, that's what they were showing me by hitting these fairies. It's gonna open up the paths to my escape, you know. And it's trash. No matter how far you get ahead of this monster, it still catches up with you. I think his speed is a little bit faster than yours all the time. I must have died like 30 times to this thing, dude.
Dude, I died like 30 minutes worth of the time. I couldn't get the timing right because I was too panicked. I'm like, oh my
dude,
god,
no, it is
and close.
And you can't tell because it's not that, you know, he just catches you and then he catches you, right? It's he's close to you and you think you're gonna escape and he suddenly leaps forward eats you. Yeah. It's not some gradual thing. He kind of sprints forward a little bit and eats you. I think the part that was messing me up was there's that blue enemy that throws stuff from his back and a green enemy. Like that part was messing me up. I realized, oh, you have to throw a ninja star and then use your attack to get rid of those guys, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of get them out of your way. That's the part that was messing me up. And then there was another part where I think I was jumping too much, so it messed up my momentum. But it's funny, right? I died 30 times, maybe in the same two spots. After I perfected those 2 times, that's only half of the run. The rest of the run I did perfectly. I think it's just that instinct, that fight or flight mode that just made me, oh man, I did the rest of this thing perfect after failing at 2 things all the
time. Exactly. And I barely made it to the end too. I'm like, damn, I thought I was good. I thought I was really good. But
yeah. No, yeah. That part was fucking amazing, man. And again, just showing you how, because that's what they do well too. I think that's a big reason people give Mega Man big ups as well, is there's no tutorials or anything in this game. They give you a couple scenarios on how you can use your abilities, and then after that they just open up Pandora's box and say, oh hey, this is possible, figure this out, you know, a whole puzzle on how to use your abilities to get from point A to point B. So I think that's really cool. The level where you're bouncing off the flowers and stuff, they don't tell you you have to hit the flower to point the direction you want it to make you bounce, you know. It's kind of just something you infer and then plan out from there. So no, that game's amazing, dude. Just don't pay attention to the story at all. So you have no idea what's going on through this entire story. You know, you just gotta deliver stuff and collect stuff. And I think before the last boss or before the final stage, they give you like a 20-minute conversation about what's really going on in this game. And I could care less, dude.
Well, you did become the perfect ninja.
That's
the
true.
perfect messenger.
Yeah.
So it's like everything
I
else
care
is
about.
irrelevant.
Yeah. They're telling me about the Phantom and the Muse and this 500-year curse. I was like, I don't care, man. Just tell me who to kill, you know? Which that final boss fight was really, really fun, I think. The final stage was great, right? Because it's this guy that's trapped in a music box playing the organ for all eternity. And I don't know if you noticed, but all the traps, the steam, the spikes, the walls that would close in on themselves, they all moved to the beat of the song that was playing on that level.
Yeah.
So you could like time everything and have the perfect run as long as you follow the beat of the song. So that was amazing, I thought. And then you fight the final boss. It's just this dude that's possessed by a mask. So you're really just fighting him to get the mask off of him. His moveset was great. My favorite part of the fight was maybe when he was shooting those lasers around the room. And then you had to like run and jump and use your hook to get from one side to the other real quick to avoid the lasers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, actually every part of that boss fight was great. Because then he shoots a ball at you, and you have to hit it back at him, and you bounce it back and forth maybe 5 times before it hits him, and then you just tear him up. There's that one part where there's lasers on the floors and the walls, and the only way you can avoid it is by staying in the part of the map that's in the past, you know? Because lasers weren't invented yet in the past. It's kind of hard to explain, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Where they were like, yeah, that part was great. That whole boss fight is just fucking fun, man. Because I think I only died once on that fight, just because using everything you've learned throughout the whole game, my reaction time was super intensified, you know, from going through all that bullshit, man.
I think I spent an hour on that part, like getting wrecked.
Okay, let me ask you this, man. So after you beat that, right? It's not done yet. I mean, I guess you still have to kill the mask. You and everybody, all the other messengers and stuff. You guys create Voltron, you know, and shoot a Kamehameha at the mask. It shoots a laser back at you, right? And it's just a mash B in order for your Hadouken to be stronger than his Hadouken and kill him, right?
Yeah.
I know you're good at the button mashing, dude. But I must have been sitting here for 2 minutes mashing B. I was like, wait, am I supposed to die here? And I almost just took it and made myself die, right? But I think at the very end, I switched from my thumb to my index finger, and I just fucked it up, and it killed the mask, dude. So I was tripping. I wonder if you could lose at that part. Do you think you could lose?
I think so, because it's like I was caught off guard, and then like I was like slowly tapping and it was going completely down. I was like, maybe I need to use my super strong finger.
Yeah.
But I don't want to test it. Like I got too far after beating that guy.
That's what I was like, too.
Fuck, man.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't want to know where this checkpoint is if I die here, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe something would happen. Maybe the dragon would come and help me. Maybe the robot butler. Maybe some, because I was really just sitting here for 2 minutes tapping B, like, you know, and the my Hadouken was maybe halfway. You know, I could barely see the mask, and if I let it go, it would go all the way down and almost kill me. I was like, wait, no, I'm not dying here, right?
Yeah.
So that's when I switched fingers and like really mashed the button. You can't do that just casually. You have to think about mashing B at that point, right?
Yeah.
That's how hard it was. But
yeah, because you don't want to beat the whole boss all over again. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to find out.
Because when you do load up your game again, it's not like a new game plus. It puts you back at the checkpoint right before the final boss. So, man, can you imagine beating the boss and then
losing to that part?
Yeah, I'm about to YouTube that later. See if there's a video of someone just failing that very last part. But yeah, Messenger, great game. Can definitely recommend it, man. For sure. If you got like a week to spare in this god-tiered time of video games, man, definitely pick up the Messenger. It's fun.
Exactly. It's a full solid game too. You know, you thought you'd beat the game after finishing all the levels, but it's like, psych, you're only halfway through. You got, you know, this whole journey ahead of you to do, and that's what makes it cool, because your expectations is like, okay, yeah, I beat the game, I'm great, but there's more. You know, finding out more is cool.
Yeah, and it's so simple, but at the same time so complex. You know, they give you a set of abilities, and they make you push the possibilities of what you can do with those to the limit, right? Like,
yeah,
we were talking about, there's rooms where you walk in, and Rick and I just left because we didn't want to attempt to try and figure out how to navigate this room without dying. So,
yeah. And you know there's a coin behind there. It's like, yep, this is not worth my time.
Exactly. On the map, it's like a green room. No, I'm not going to do this, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's definitely some rooms where I just damage boosted through. You know, I just took a hit and then just ran through everything.
Ran through the spikes.
But they mess you up, too, because the spikes and the buzzsaw things, they mess up your momentum. And you can't just walk through those sometimes. So sometimes it's hard to damage boost the things.
Yeah,
but nah, Messenger, good times. Is that only on Switch or is that on everything?
Which one, the Messenger?
Yeah,
I think it's on PS4 too. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah,
but and PC.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, out there everywhere. Definitely pick it up. That game is a fucking amazing time, dude. But yeah, I played that because I didn't want to start Hollow Knight with that still being in my backlog. I'm probably gonna be super good at Hollow Knight now because my reflex is just on point for the 2D realm right now. I'm gonna be killing it. And the only reason I wanted to play Hollow Knight was because I finished Spider-Man finally.
Yeah.
So we could talk about the super spoiler alert for this. If you haven't finished Spider-Man yet, I cried, dude. Well, I didn't cry. I teared up for sure at the end, man. R.I.P. Aunt May, dude.
Oh, that's the part. Okay, yeah.
I didn't think they were gonna let her die. Did you think they were
I
gonna let
didn't
her
think so either. Like, I was like, I haven't read any of the comic books, but I thought that she would always be there, old and always supporting Peter, but it was like, nope, you're gonna have nobody. And then I was like, kind of feeling empty at the end until like where you're like with Mary Jane, and things happen, and then you're like teaching Miles or showing Miles how to climb the wall and shit and whatnot.
Yeah. But yeah, because Dr. Octopus lets out this virus that is, I guess you could compare it to, what can you compare it to? Like the Black Plague or something, or like the disease in Planet of the Apes that killed off all the humans. It's kind of like that. It's airborne and then can be transferred from human to human. You release it on Times Square, which is funny because I think there's 5 missions where you save the virus from being used, and then ultimately Dr. Octopus by the way, I was waiting for Dr. Octopus the whole time. He showed up. Shout out to Dr. Octopus, man. It was a great villain, dude.
Yeah, dude. I think he was pretty well developed. And then when you go into the lair, and then you like start reading like how he's gonna save all of the the villains. And why they're teamed up, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Learning a little bit about their background, and then
And you think about it too, he was doing this the whole time under Peter Parker's nose. Remember, there's that one time you go back into the lab after everything's been taken by the mayor. He's 3D printing armor. He's got the newspapers all up on the walls with all the villains that he's gonna rescue. He's got like a schematic of the raft on the whiteboard, man. So yeah, he was planning that for sure. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I think the end too, where you fight him, and I was like, oh, that was an pretty epic battle. Very emotional. You're like, I trusted you. It's like, come, yes, please join my dark side, please, Peter. And you're like, no, I trusted you, bitch.
But yeah, man. So yeah, Dr. Octopus just releases this virus, and I think in a cutscene, I think Aunt May calls Peter Parker. She hangs up the phone with him, and after she starts coughing, and then there's blood. So you're like, okay, cool. This is what's gonna make me want to finish this game: is finding the cure that someone stole and giving it to Aunt May, right?
Yeah.
But no, you get the cure, and they convince you to let Aunt May die so you can save the rest of New York. I was so salty, dude. I was like, no, Aunt May, no, because then I think Peter Parker just runs into her right at the very end, and she goes, "Oh, I knew you were Spider-Man all along. I'm so proud of you." I was like, "No, Aunt May, we're gonna save you," And he has the cure in his hands, and he's like, "I'm gonna use it." And he's about to use it. He goes, "Ah!" And just yells, and she dies. You could hear the little EKG monitor just go toot toot.
Dude, yeah.
With a black screen, no music. I was like, "Oh, that's cold-blooded Spider-Man. How could you do that to us?" But yeah, man. No, that game was great. I liked the pacing as well, where you would run around as Spider-Man, and I think we talked a little bit last week. We just felt invincible after a while, after unlocking all of the abilities and gadgets and all that.
Yeah.
Fights just got super easy. But then they switch it up and make you use Mary Jane to try and get rid of the virus, and then they make you use Miles to try and pick up some medicine for
that
Feast.
Was stressful for me, actually,
because Rhino was looking for you. That made my heart beat. Yeah, for sure. That was stressful for sure, but I think it was good, the pacing they did with those. My one maybe gripe with the game is I think the boss fights could have been done better. Dr. Octopus boss fight was great. I think and Mr. Negative, his boss fight was great too. I like that one a lot.
I like the one that was in the air, the electric.
Okay, yeah, that one was good. Well then, shit. Maybe my only gripe is with Rhino and
because I thought that one Scorpion was okay.
Yeah, that one. So I don't know what it was. Maybe they share a health bar or something. But I spent that whole fight trying to kill Rhino because he was the one that was stressing me out the most. I know Scorpion's there shooting shit at you and pouncing in every so often, Yeah. But I would just dodge him and just fully concentrate on baiting Rhino to those pipes that you could drop onto him so that you can combo him up.
Mm-hmm.
So once I did that, I killed Rhino. I think I only comboed Scorpion twice and then he died. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. I like the way that got resolved though. Spider-Man just locks them both into a container
so they can fight.
Yeah. That was cool. The Mr. Negative fight, I like that one a lot. Because he infects Peter's mind, so Peter's tripping out. But then he turns into that giant monster that swipes, and you have to dodge those. And then when you attack him, you go inside the monster and just attack Martin Lee inside of him. I thought that was sick, man.
Dude, yeah.
Part of the fight was great. The Dr. Octopus fight on the roof in the rain, with all the electricity and stuff.
I was taking a lot of pictures.
That one was great. I was mad that I didn't have a good TV for that fight. Man, that fight was great. The graphics were super good on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Man. Yeah, that fight was fun because you could tackle it a few ways, right? You could either throw stuff at him to stun him, or you could shoot a bunch of web at him to stun him.
Yeah.
There's not just one way to do this fight. So that's what I think was cool about all of those. You think you have to stun them a certain way, but there's still some flexibility about what you can do. The Vulture and Electro fight was great.
I like how you're able to actually kind of make, if you angle them right, they would like hit each other or like shock each other.
Exactly what I was gonna say, man. If you dodge at the right time, because you're mainly fighting Electro, and then Vulture's the one that's swooping in, and trying to attack you. Yeah, I remember I was comboing up Electro one time, and my spider sense was up, so I dodged real quick, and Vulture ran into Electro.
Yeah.
And
then it was the reverse when you're hitting Vulture, and then there's a thunder shock, and he's like, "Watch what you're doing," That was pretty cool.
Yeah. No, yeah, I thought all those were great. See, I mean, I guess the only thing is I wish, because the Shocker fight was awesome, in the bank.
Oh, in the bank? Yeah.
Yeah, that fight is great too. But I wish that, I guess I wanted to fight them all one-on-one. Maybe fight them one-on-one real quick, and then have them team up against me, and that's how you beat them ultimately. I could have used a little bit of a one-on-one fade with each of those bosses. I think that would have been great. I mean, even the Tombstone fight was great. I like that one a lot.
I like that one too. He's like throwing motorcycles, or you have to throw motorcycles.
Yeah. And then everything starts to go on fire and shit. And you're like, wait, okay, try to dodge the fire. He has his boys come and try to fight you too. So that fight was great too. No, yeah, I think Spider-Man, perfect game still, man. My only gripe is maybe the Rhino and Scorpion fight, but everything else was awesome. Like you said, super emotional. I think we said last week too, the storyline has always been great on this game. Faces were good. I teared up for real when Aunt May died for real. So
I like the fights too when you're like one of the side missions or side fights where they're robbing a store and then it goes into 2D screen and then you're like fighting a bunch of thugs inside that store.
Oh yeah, you go inside or outside. Yeah.
And you're like jumping on the wall while they're like trying to hit you in a closed environment. I really like that.
Dude, what was the whole point of... Tell me this, man. If you were at work, right, and your job was fucking horrible, and your boss is like the only reason you do your job, right? Your boss is just super inspiring and you're super loyal to your boss and you want to do a good job so that your boss, is proud of you and is proud of the work that the company does, right? Your job still sucks, though. What would you do if your boss just left? Wouldn't you fucking leave, too?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Why the fuck are the Sable agents still hanging out after what's-her-name leaves, dude? I did not understand that
I guess because, they want money or, like maybe they're tied to their mortgage or something like that.
Dude. I mean, because ultimately you team up with her, right? And she says, "You confuse me, Spider-Man. Why do you save people, all this stuff? I need to go back home and think about my life." And Spider-Man's like, "Okay, cool. Are you taking your boys with you too?" And she's like, "No, they're going to stay. If I was working for Sable, I would have left so quick." I'm like, man, fuck this job.
Yeah. I think the score hasn't even been settled with her. She like keeps beating up Spider-Man in every scene. And then he's like, when am I going to fight her one-on-one,
Mm-hmm.
But
because when did they teamed up in the end to try and save
exactly
the mayor at the lab. Okay.
And then she pins him against the wall or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
But then who do you get tore up by? By Dr. Octopus. After you beat Mr. Negative, Dr. Octopus comes in and fucks you up. And she saves you, I think.
Yep.
Speaking of, they do so much medical work on Spider-Man. How do they not just like take off his mask real quick? Right?
That's what I was wondering. I was like, how can
times.
you diagnose him without taking off his mask? What if he had head trauma?
Yeah.
You would never know because his mask is on.
There's about 2 or 3 times where Spider-Man blacks out and wakes up and no one just is curious to take off his mask real quick.
Shit, yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Dude, I thought the black and green Spider-Man costume was going to be my shit. And then I saw the Dr. Octopus costume, the one you use at the end. That one's sick, dude.
The black and yellow one?
Yeah,
that was pretty sick, dude.
That one was tight, dude. We talked a little bit about this too, man. Because in the end, I hated that storyline so much about how Miles got his Spider-Man powers. Would you play a Spider-Man game if it wasn't Peter Parker?
Never. I think I saw like a cartoon and then he like goes into multiple dimensions with and meets all the different types of Spider-Mans in every dimension or whatnot. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm only going to recognize one Spider-Man, Peter Parker. He's the one. He is the one I grew up with, even though the other ones are great, but I think I'll stick with numero uno. And I thought that was, gonna go that way where you have to switch to Miles. And I was like,
yeah,
I don't know. I didn't build that relationship in the entire game with Miles, kind of thing.
And I mean, you didn't build that relationship throughout your entire life with Miles, man. I mean,
Exactly.
Spider-Man's been around ever since we've been alive, I feel like. So That's 30 years, 30 plus years of Spider-Man, of Peter Parker being Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
That's the only Spider-Man I know. I wouldn't switch it up to Miles. Because at the very end, you know, during one of the after credits cut scenes is when Miles reveals to Peter Parker that he could climb on walls and shit. I hated that storyline so much, dude. I disliked that so much. Mary Jane sneaks into the mayor's secret lab where the mayor is trying to recreate the spiders that made Spider-Man Spider-Man. She starts reading off some of their powers too, right? Doesn't she say there's a spider that can turn invisible? There's a spider that can, I don't know, jump far or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then I think she knocks over one of the spider cages, and the spider goes into her pocket or something. So that she
on her back.
And
yeah.
Then, and then that was it too. She was like, after the whole thing of her being in the lab, that spider's in her pocket, she goes, okay, I'm gonna go with Feast and hang out with Miles. And I was like, ugh, I just feel dirty. I just feel dirty, dude. This is how it's really going. You can see from a mile away that spider's gonna somehow bite Miles, and it does. And they try to make it seem like not a big deal when you know what's happening, man. That just felt nasty. I felt nasty witnessing that whole thing. I felt gross, dude. Gross.
I think I was I don't know, I was getting annoyed by the relationship between the two. You know, I like Mary Jane and Peter Parker together, but particularly in the game, the relationship is a little complicated. You know, she was doing that whole thing where I want help, but I don't need your help, and I don't want to feel weak, but then you have to save her kind of thing. And it's like, which is it? I forgot. She got mad, you know, for trying to be partners. And then all of a sudden when Spider-Man's helping, she's like, you know what? This partner thing is not going to work out. And I was like, what? You're just very complicated right now.
No, wait. You did not read that right at all, my friend.
Yes.
I think he butted in to something she was trying to figure out. And she was like, you can't fix it all yourself. You got to let me help you too. That's not a partner thing to do. I think that's what happened. It's not that... You know, she obviously did need his help, I think, but he jumped in when he shouldn't have. I think that I forgot what the situation was at that point, actually.
No, there's like that one particular scene where they're in the subway or Times Square or whatever that area was, and they're held hostage, and she was like, I don't need your help. And then she goes in, and then all of a sudden she needs his help. She like put herself in a scenario where she does need Spider-Man's help, and she was getting mad at Spider-Man for saving her.
Oh,
and that was the point where like that's where the the partner thing broke off.
But she didn't know that the virus was going to be there and it was going to be that crazy. She just knew that there was something there to investigate that didn't need Spider-Man's expertise per se. It just happened to turn up that, oh my god, everybody has guns now, and now I need Spider-Man.
Yeah, but the thing is, wouldn't you be happy that you were saved instead of mad that you were saved kind of thing? It's like, really? I don't understand. I don't understand at all because, it's like you got to put away your little self-pride and whatnot in order to save the people around you. But, since you got into that situation or it was unpredictable, but you still got saved, don't be blaming the savior for saving you. It's like shit happens, just at least thank him. Like, okay, thanks, I legit needed your help.
Mary Jane should have been thanked. She was the one that defused that bomb, dude. It wasn't Spider-Man, man.
But how did she defuse the bomb? You had to get Spider-Man to take away all the guns so that way she can sneak around and whatnot. See, it was a partner effort, but at the end, it became a broken partnership. So how can if they're a partner together, why are you gonna get mad? I don't understand.
Weren't they broken up from a situation before? Like, I feel like she wanted to do something, and Peter Parker wasn't including her or something like that. That's what made her kind of salty about. Oh, you're selfish. Why are you trying to solve everything by yourself? I thought we were partners. I thought that was why. I mean, of course she needs him. She's not fucking Spider-Man, but I guess it's kind of bitter. I can see what you're saying, but yeah.
I think, of course they can work together, but when it comes to being saved, put away your pride, you know, of course everyone can be saved and doesn't need to be saved, but if someone saves you, you can't be like choosy and say, hey, you know, I thought we were partners kind of thing.
Rick is Spider-Man, dude. That's why, bro.
I am. I'm like, golly, this is complicated. That's why I'm like, okay. I don't want to save you anymore. If you jump out of the window, I'm not coming.
Oh man, that's fucking funny, dude. So that was one ending cutscene, was them making up and kissing, dude. I'm sure you were pretty upset at that.
I was happy with that, actually.
Oh, okay.
I was like, okay, thank you for all the saving I've done. Thank you. You better give him a kiss. Something.
What did she end up being a reporter still, or what happened? I forgot.
I think she was still a reporter.
Oh, okay.
She was still doing her journalism thing and
okay, gotcha. The other one was Miles revealing that he has spider powers, and then the last ending credit scene, of course. Did you skip the credits, by the way, dude?
No, but
dude,
credits were freaking 20 minutes long.
I was about to say those must have been the longest credits I think I've ever watched. And
yeah, entirely. I thought Metal Gear Solid 4 was the longest, but no, man, this is an hour of credits.
And that's just the thing I do. You know, whenever I finish a game, I want to let the credits roll. I want to, you know, just see who was involved in making the game, right, and what it took to make the game. I do that with every game. And I know you were saying there was some after credits scene. I wasn't really in a rush to see that, but sitting through these, man, you're right. These must have been like 30 minutes long, dude. Those are the longest credits ever. Longer than movies, bro.
Exactly. The longest I've ever I thought it would be like 10 minutes, but then I think my PS4 was trying to shut down or something, and I was like, what the fuck? You know, because I would leave it, and I was like, damn, it's still on credits, and my DualShock disconnected. What the fuck?
Shit, I know, you have to charge a controller.
Yeah. Oh,
but the final after credits scene is the mayor, Norman Osborn, going into his secret lab that Mary Jane broken into earlier in the game, and I guess like a test tube opens up, and you see it's fucking Harry inside, and he's got all this black shit around him, you know, and the mayor's like, I'm gonna save you, Harry, I love you, son, and he kind of touches the glass of the test tube, and friggin' the black stuff reaches back to him and kind of mirrors his hand on the other side. So
I didn't notice that. Yeah, like I was. Well, no, I noticed the black stuff, but then like I don't know, for whatever reason, it just didn't come to mind what exactly with the black stuff. I think I was more like concerned about, you know, when Octavius was in the prison at the end, and he was like,
okay, yeah,
I'll have my revenge. So I was like kind of more worried about that. But then I was like, back. When are you gonna become the Green Goblin? You know,
because the little Easter eggs, man. He has those purple bombs in his lab too, man.
Exactly.
But my thing is, are they just? I guess they're allowed to. It's their own story. Is Harry gonna be Venom, dude? That'd be kind of interesting.
What if he doesn't really become Venom, but it transfers over to Brock?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Because the whole time throughout the whole game, you just think Harry's in Europe for school or something. I don't even know why they think Harry's in Europe, but it turns out, Mary Jane conniving, just reading Harry's journal. Who does that, dude? Just breaking into his room, reading his journal.
And that was stressful too when the agents came in. And I was like, yeah. Oh my god, I gotta jump off a balcony.
No, I definitely used some video game logic in there, and you know, walked right up behind one of them. You know what I mean? There's like those parts where the line of sight cuts off and you can tell where the NPC. So I was kind of flagrantly walking through some parts without really stealthing too much.
Dude, I bolted through all of it. Like I was just no, he's not looking. I was just like running the entire way.
I think I did that, and I didn't realize there was someone else. There was like a guard in the laundry room or something in that one hallway, and I didn't know there was. So I ran to hide into that hallway, and it immediately cut to the screen of Mary Jane getting caught, and I kind of got a jump scare, dude. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know there was something here.
Dude, yeah, I think I got the jump scare at the Tombstones area. I was like, man, this sneaking around, I can't do this. It's gonna hurt my heart.
When you step on glass or something. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it turns out Harry just has a crazy disease that they can't find the cure for. And somehow Norman Osborn's using the symbiotes to cure him. Who knows, man?
What if a symbiote gets out, and goes to
100%.
Brock, and then he's like, the only way to save Harry is to put him in the suit.
Oh,
and then drives him crazy.
Oh no, that's 100% gonna happen, man. That is 100% gonna happen. Because there are at least 3 DLCs planned for Spider-Man. Again, our greatest dream was just to keep building on this great world you've already built. Don't come out with a Spider-Man 2 just yet. Just come out with a bunch of mini stories on this amazing New York backdrop that you've already created. First one's coming out in October, called The Heist. We've already ran into a little bit of Black Cat storyline in Spider-Man. I think if you talk to Aunt May enough, she, during the time when you're really not talking to Mary Jane yet, she's like, "Oh, so how's it going with Mary Jane?" You're like, I'm not really talking to her. "Oh, what about Felicia? Are you still hanging out with Felicia?" I was like, shit, dude, Black Cat's gonna be in this. And then you see the graffiti, and then come to find out she's gonna be the next DLC, man. So
nice.
That should be interesting.
She made me chase all those clues and no appearance. I was like, okay, I'm a little hurt.
What did we get? We got a suit. We got a suit from that, right?
Yeah, but I was like expecting at least have that little cutscene of like, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Because I think in the comics they get together for a little bit.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. While they have like a downtime, him and Mary Jane. I already know where that game's gonna be headed though. It's gonna be her stealing stuff, and we have to clean up her mess. As in, she steals from the wrong people. She did steal from the wrong people. Then she steal from like the Mafia. She stole from Tombstone in Spider-Man. So it's gonna be us making sure those guys don't chase her or something. She's gonna ask us for help on some point, man. So I'm excited for that. That should be good. Excellent. Next one's called Turf Wars. There's no other real details on the other 2 DLC. I can only speculate here what Turf Wars is going to be about. I kind of want that to be like 2 villains fighting each other, and you have to stop them from fighting each other before they ruin the city. So I thought, who would be the 2 coolest villains to fight each other?
Venom and Carnage.
No way. You think? I think they're saving the symbiotes for part 2. I honestly think that they can't put them in that early. They got to give them some time, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see maybe Sandman and Hydro Man fight. That would be kind of tight, dude. One dude just turns into water, the other turns into sand. There's mud all over New York.
Damn, yeah.
Peter Parker's like, so much mud. Last one we know of is called Silver Lining. Is that a Fantastic Four tease, you think, man?
Silver Lining, like the Silver Surfer?
That's what I'm thinking, dude. What other... I don't think there's any other silver, like, enemies. The Silver Samurai. But I don't think he's ever fought Spider-Man. That was an X-Man guy. Yeah, man. I could see you chasing around Silver Surfer throughout New York. That would be kind of sick.
That would be pretty sick. I still haven't got the swinging momentum down. Like, there's times when I would catch the enemy really fast when I'm chasing them, but then there's times when I'm like, I don't know, I'm so slow that I have to restart the mission.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was like chasing Electro for the first time, and I thought I was like keeping my momentum, but then I failed like 2 times, and then after that I was like pretty fast all of a sudden. So I don't know.
What helps out a lot is just pressing the regular X, the one that makes you just zip forward real quick.
Yeah,
that helps out a lot. If you're changing direction, that works a lot better. Pressing X at the end of your swings, and then as you're going down, that's when you press R2 to swing back up. Using the R2 L2 combo to like.
Oh, so you let go of R2 after pressing X, and then you like fall downwards, right? And then
as you're falling down,
then you
press R2. Yeah, and then when you're going back up, use that momentum, press X again.
Now I know. Yeah. After I platinum the game.
Yeah,
I was just winging it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about last week. It's very active. It's The game can be simple, where you can just swing around by holding R2, or you can just fight people using square and triangle randomly, just button mashing, right? Or it can be as advanced as you want it to be, as advanced as you want to take it with your combos, with your swinging, how you get around. Yeah, the game is perfect. Just like The Messenger, they give you the simple tools and how you use those tools in a variety of ways. It's just fucking amazing, dude. Oh,
exactly.
Spider-Man's so perfect, dude. I love that game.
I'd love it too.
Kind of salty that, you know, we didn't get the deluxe version.
I know. I don't know why we even played it at PAX, and it was like, okay, this is a great game to pre-order, and for some reason we just decided to go with the normal version.
Yeah.
Standard edition.
Yeah, because the standard edition is $60. The deluxe edition is, what, $70, $80? I think $80. And if you buy that, you get all 3 of the DLCs with it. You know, we decided not to do that for whatever reason. And instead, we got to pay $25 for the DLCs, man.
Exactly, which is fucking a lot of money.
R.I.P.,
I guess it's worth it.
Poor financial decision. That's $15 we'll never see again in our lives, dude. But yeah, I can't wait. Do you... so, question now. Spider-Man came out September 6th? Is that when it came out? September 12th, something like that. Early September is when Spider-Man came out. DLC is coming out October 23rd, the first one at least. So that means they expect everybody to finish Spider-Man in a month and a half. Is that kind of a fair estimation, you think?
I think so. Like, people who nonstop playing the game, and I think if they estimated everyone to be playing roughly to beat the game in, like, I don't know, 20, 30 hours, and then they like calculated, okay, maybe people will spend a couple hours every day, they should be done by October or something like that. So that's 2 months for them to come out with more stuff to keep them, you know, in the ball game. Maybe they, like, I don't know, estimated or analyzed it from different games. Like, if you take too long to release DLC, then people lose interest, and then therefore they won't buy the game. So maybe they're like, okay, let's release the game within this period of time and keep our audience for a bit longer.
Yeah, the old saying goes, timing is everything. And I don't think they're just releasing this randomly. You know, I definitely think, like you said, conversations were had. They did a study on, you know, when the right time to be would release this DLC. I don't know. I guess I thought you and I were kind of on the more extreme end of video games, right? Where people would play this a lot more casually, and it would take them longer to beat it. You beat it in 2 weeks or a week and a half. I think it took me 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks to beat. So I like to put us on the extreme end. I guess I just don't know how other people play video games. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think my little nephew, he's like 10 or something like that. He told me he like bought Spider-Man a couple days ago, and he already told me he's already on the Martin Lee fight. So I'm like, okay, well, if he goes to school normally and he plays maybe a couple hours a day, so yeah, maybe by then he should be ready for the DLC.
Interesting. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's good, at least for us. We don't have to wait too long to revisit, you know.
But Red Dead, that's why.
Red Dead does come out. Dude, that same week.
Eternal Battle.
Oh my god, dude! I think Red Dead comes out on Thursday, the 23rd. Dude, it's already October. How crazy is that?
God.
No, Red Dead comes out on Friday. I think that Friday is when Red Dead comes out, and the DLC comes out on Tuesday the 23rd for Spider-Man. So we got 2 days to beat that, which I think it won't be too crazy. I think that'll be easy to beat. But Jesus, dude, Red Dead is upon us, man. I think on Monday, on the 1st, they're gonna release another trailer for Red Dead. I think it'll go more in depth on what did they do for that first video? Was it the story? Maybe they'll go more with the gameplay this time around. Either or.
I just trying to avoid that. Like,
really?
I want to see. I want to see everything first-handed. Like, I don't want to expect. Okay, I know there's gonna be a train robbery coming up, but I want to be like, okay, this is gonna happen, and I don't have any knowledge to it.
These get me so hyped, man. When they did it for Grand Theft Auto 5, I think they did that too. They showed gameplay, story, and then online mode was the third little video they had, right? At the end of the second video, they showed next time we'll be talking about Grand Theft Auto Online, an immersive world, blah blah blah, you know?
Yeah.
And that final 5-second shot was somebody walking around in their penthouse looking at 2 jets fly by. I was like, oh my god, dude, this game is gonna be amazing. So I'm looking for a similar shot in the video that comes out on the 1st. Yeah, no, these get me hyped. I think there's a lot they don't show us, so I'm not too worried about spoilers, but oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited for this video. This video could be 30 seconds long. It'll still get me hyped for the game, dude. We're less than a month, man. Less than a month from Red Dead 2, bro.
Exactly.
I can't wait. At the end of the messenger too, one of the new messengers is a cowboy. Remember that?
Yeah.
You're telling him a story and shit. Oh god. Can't wait for Red Dead. But yeah,
maybe I'll make that my nickname. If you can make nicknames in Red Dead, I'm gonna be the messenger. The cowboy messenger.
The cowboy messenger, dude. But yeah, Red Dead 2 coming out soon. Dude, I'm gonna lock myself in a room for that whole weekend, man. Let's see what else. I talked a little bit about PAX, man. Another convention that we usually like going to, that we've been to the past 2 years?
PAX or PSX?
PSX is not happening this year, dude. RIP, man. And
yeah,
it had a good run.
They even had like a bunch of articles on it too. They're like, oh yeah, it's confirmed from the executives that it's not coming. And I was like, oh well, at least it came for like two years straight, you know, to Anaheim. But I hope they don't just like start cycling through, you know, every different state. I know that's unfair, but you know, if they can have it in Anaheim, that'd be great again.
Yeah, because it's not too far for us. Yeah.
Well,
this gets me to think, well, what they said, you know, we don't really have too much news. A lot of stuff's coming out this year. So we're going to be in the Hyper Games of 2017, 2018. We have Dreams, Ghost of Tsushima. Not too much, you know, we want to talk about, blah, blah, blah. We feel like it's going to be unfair to have this whole conference just for 2 games, I think was their reasoning, right?
Behind is that the reasoning why they didn't bring it to PSX, or they didn't launch it this year?
No, that's the reason there's no PSX this year.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of games coming out this year, and there's not too much. At least that's what they claim. There's not really too much to show to get people excited about, so they don't really want to waste too many people's time. I think you mentioned too what happened last year with their press conference thing, or their show at the beginning of it was kind of crazy. So, and they don't want to repeat of that, right?
Maybe they learned. They're like, everybody wasn't hyped. The guy was sleeping in the front row, and everybody wanted to save the fish. So maybe they learned that, hey, we gotta save up a bunch of games.
The fish. I totally forgot about that, dude. Detroit. That's so funny. That was a great demo, by the way. That was probably the most entertaining part of that little show.
That conference, yeah. And I think the guy was getting mad too, because everybody was like, he's like, oh, what should I do? And then everyone's like, kill the guy, shoot the guy. And he's like, okay, we're not going to shoot the guy. You know, it's like, oh, God.
So, conspiracy theory, this is just me in my head, right? Is the reason there's not too much news to give as far as games are going in 2019 is because they're going to announce PlayStation 5 in 2019 to be released either December 2019 or 2020. Either way, I think we're getting a PlayStation 5 announcement next year, which is why they're going to have their own thing for that. And the reason there's not so much happening or not so much coming out is because there's kind of a media blackout for PlayStation 5 to come out. So it's as good a time as any, man. I think PlayStation 4 is kind of at the peak of what it's going to be. Time to come out with the next generation, dude.
I'm afraid now, because I was thinking about picking up a PS4 Pro sometimes the start of next year. But if it's only gonna last for like a year, I'm not sure anymore.
Might as well wait. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think the rumor is by March we'll know something about the PlayStation 5. So if you could wait that long, man, I'd say wait it out.
I want to get the Kingdom Hearts bundle, even though I haven't played the game. Oh, yeah, I'll talk about that later.
But yeah, that's the only thing. At least that makes sense to me why they wouldn't have it. They want to just have their own. It's too early to announce PlayStation 5, and they want to do that and include just everything with it. Backwards compatible, dude. Do you think PlayStation 5 will be able to play PlayStation 4 games?
Nope, because they released the PS4
dude.
Pro Slim at 2019.
RIP, dude. What about all your downloaded games, though? You think you'll be able to play those on PS5?
Nope. They're going to make sure everything is not compatible. Bro. And because they're going to do something like, the PS2 where like everybody had a PS2, all the great games, and it's still selling strong. They released PS3, but not everybody was into PS3. They were still into PS2. So they divided the sales, They wanted to make sure people who have PS3 will play PS3. PS2 will, of course, still be dominating at that time. So PS4, I think, is still strong, and I think a lot of developers are still developing on the platforms and the future games. And then also, I think too, it's going to be taking a little bit more time for developers to get adjusted to PS5. So I don't know. There might be still that divide where we don't want backwards compatibility from PS4 to PS5. I want it personally.
Oh yeah,
but
same here.
If they're selling $1 billion, yeah, of PS4s, then yeah.
Because my PS4 library is super strong. I just have a bunch of games on PS4. Downloaded games too, not the CDs. So that would be a shame for real. That would prevent me from buying a PlayStation 5 for a couple of years, I think. Since our backlogs are so back anyways, right? Might as well finish playing everything on the 4 before getting the 5. But no, I think backwards compatibility is a must nowadays. With Xbox doing what they're doing, you could play any game on any system nowadays, or at least if you have the 1 or higher, you could play any game that Xbox has ever come out with on those. You could play some of them on your PC if you wanted to, right?
I think too, but there's like also Nintendo, like every system they have is always divided. Yeah, completely divided in their whatever console genre, but I think it's because they're like, okay, 3DS is taking off. Everyone's still dominating with 3DS. And I'm like, how come you can't bring that over to, the Switch and have all the 3DS games on the Switch? Maybe it's just because it's still selling really well for 3DS and Switch, so they had to divide it.
But Sony has to see how unpopular that is and how Xbox is killing it with, their backwards compatibility. I mean, Xbox is killing it so much, they seized the opportunity and said, okay, PSX isn't happening. We're having our own Xbox conference or convention in Mexico.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, darn. I was like, okay, let's go check. Oh.
I
don't know, man.
Let's go ahead. Let's trade in our PlayStations. We're all getting Xboxes, boys. We're all getting Xboxes.
Let's go check out that convention. But then it's like, oh shoot.
This is a convention I think they have every year. I was reading. It's just with the absence of PlayStation experience, they're just pimping the shit out of this one. They're saying, "Oh, PlayStation's not doing anything. Come through, guys." So Xbox is definitely seizing the opportunity, which is good. I mean, they need the competition,
rebound.
To just drive themselves to do better, man. I think that'll be interesting to see what comes out of this one. Because they have already talked about next generation with their stuff. I think Bethesda at their press conference at E3, they talked about how they're doing Elder Scrolls 6 on the next generation consoles already. So something's out there, man. It's just not known to us yet. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Man.
I think too, when they release, was it the X or the S, Xbox X, whatnot, I don't know how many people actually, went and upgraded their original Xbox One to Xbox One X. So maybe PlayStation will reveal something beyond, just backwards compatibility, but like, I don't know, AR or VR. I don't know. Like, I was just watching Sword Art Online too, but
Wait, the new
I
one?
was watching. No, not well. Not. I don't know if it's new or not, but it was a movie, and I think you should check it out too. But
A movie?
basically, it plays on a little bit on Kirito, the main character from Sword Art, and how he goes back. Not goes back, but they have like a AR system, and it's kind of like Google Glass.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what was pretty interesting too. It's like if Google Glass like really worked on that stuff, I think people would actually get into that. But basically, it works like Google Glass. You can see the stats of everybody in real life, and you can actually play games in real life. Like monsters will show, yourself would show, like you have your sword and costume and play. The only thing that's different from VR and AR, it's like you're in real life, so it's kind of sluggish when you're like moving, dodging, and fighting. And essentially that movie is about like Sword Art Online coming to AR, and they're having like those episodes where they didn't want to fight the old school monsters back in Sword Art Online. And I don't know, it was just the concept was interesting to have AR like that. So I was like, maybe PlayStation will have something similar, because they had that with the Vita, or they're trying to do a little bit about that with the Vita, where they had, when I showed you Hatsune Miku dancing on your table, and if they had Pokemon using that kind of feature, it's like, I don't know what's to go beyond gaming, as other than 4K. Maybe we're gonna get 8K for PS5, but I really don't know. Like, your computer can already do whatever everything can do, but what will be some of the features from PS5 that will outdo their previous generation?
I feel that. I feel they're gonna double down on VR for sure. Because they're still not giving it up, dude. PlayStation, Sony is all over that VR shit, man. AR would be interesting too, though. Remember how we used to talk about how in the future we won't be able to play video games? I think it's gonna be because of AR, man. It's slowly becoming, it's slowly coming into fruition, man. That's kind of wild. Either way, it'll be an interesting 6 months just to see what happens in gaming, for sure. Speaking of, man, they haven't sold Comic-Con tickets yet, huh? Usually, don't they start selling that shit by now?
So random. I think my cousin asked me today too. It's like, it happened in November. One time it happened in February of the next following year, March of the following year. Sometime it happened, like, I think in August or really early in the year. So it's just completely random. They always get me too when I have no money. It's like, okay, this Saturday we're gonna start releasing. I'm like, fuck.
Before you get paid, dude.
Paid, yeah.
R.I.P., man. But yeah. I think that's it, man. You got anything else, man?
Oh, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts.
How confused are you already?
Dude, I spent, I think, 10 minutes looking up how to play Kingdom Hearts. Like,
what?
Literally when I started the game, like, I launched the game, and then already had, like, I think 10 games listed.
Yeah. You just play them in that order, dude, don't you?
I didn't know. I didn't know. I was confused. I was like, what is this? Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, and then the other one was like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memory, Kingdom Hearts this. Yeah, I had to Google it, and then people had like timelines and theories, and I was like, oh my god, I'm already getting confused. And then so I started playing it for a little bit, and I was like, it's cool, playing as Sora. It's a remastered, so the graphics I was like kind of impressed by like the graphic is a little bit modernized. Because we're so used to high definition graphics versus where it came back. I think it came out on PS2, but it was pretty good for at least to help me get through the story, because right now I just started the game and I'm in, I think, an arena area.
In Hercules?
Yeah, Hercules area. I think I just saved right there, but the town was a little confusing because I was getting lost a bit in the first town, the Traverse Town.
Traverse Town? Yeah.
And then got my ass whooped by Leon, or Lionheart, or
Squall.
Squall?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like named himself. But basically, I was like kind of getting into Kingdom Hearts. So kind of it's grabbing me slowly. Before I was like a little bit against it, and I don't know. Like I love Disney movies and I love Final Fantasy, but when he put it together back then, something just didn't appeal to me. I forgot. I think somebody spoiled it. That's why. But now that I forgot completely like what is actually going on, I've taken an interest in trying to play the game, and it's a mistake because Red Dead and Spider-Man are coming out in like
you got a month, man.
A month, so I have a month to finish the first game, at least to get me synced in or hooked to the first game, so that way I can play Red Dead, beat Red Dead, and then go back to playing all 10 games, 15 games. I was like, dude, they should just remix the remix of the remix to where it's like modernized of every single game dashed into one big game completely. I don't know. I'm just so confused about how things are going.
And you know what? They could have do that. They could have done that, but I think there's an actual story reason why you have to start off in level 1 in every game. I think they actually explained that in one of the Kingdom Hearts games. And it's because of like time travel or some bullshit, dude. Of course, it's Kingdom Hearts, so who knows? And
they should just erase that part.
And now that you mention it, man, I think that's what initially got me into Kingdom Hearts, was the fact that Cloud was going to be in it, on PlayStation 2. I would see what he looks like on PlayStation, good graphics, I think that's what drew me in at first. It's kind of funny. I think, how long did you spend on that first island? You spent like half an hour on there?
Yeah, half an hour, because I was trying to get used to the controls and like finding everything.
Yeah. So for me, man, I think I was reading a PSN or some video game magazine, Tips and Tricks or something, that said the game is much easier if you get to level 10 by the time you leave the first island, right?
So you have to grind all the way to become level 10?
Kingdom Hearts is fucking easy. You don't have to grind it all in that game, right?
Uh-huh.
I took it upon myself because I didn't know any better. I was like, all right, I'm going to grind to level 10. And the easiest way to do that was to fight Waka and keep hitting his ball back at him, Because that gives you, I think, 2 experience points every time you hit the ball. I think it took me like...
You did that all the way to level 10?
Yeah, man. It took me like 2 days to get out that first zone.
Oh my god.
And this is when I first played the game, right? On PlayStation 2. So when I played it again, remastered, because I just finished the first one in the remastered version on PS4, I was getting like PTSD of Waka saying, "Take this, brother," and I was like, "Oh no, dude!"
Swinging your sword out of nowhere.
But the thing is, like, I think I fought him once in this whole thing. I was like, "All right, dude, I'm not gonna fight him again." But Tidus was fucking annoying, dude. I hate him the most out of any main character in the Final Fantasies, right? I must have whooped his ass like 5 times, dude. But no, yeah, that was definitely the seller for me, is that there's Final Fantasy characters in this action RPG game. So that being said, I don't think they're gonna be in 3 at all, man.
Any of the, what do you mean? Who, the Final Fantasy characters?
Yeah, because they're not in any of the trailers. The Kingdom Hearts is very much its own story now. So yeah, who knows, man?
Maybe it'll be at the end where they all assemble and you have to fight all of them.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go back to Traverse Town at some point, right? And that's where all the Final Fantasy characters are mainly at. So we'll see how it goes. But good luck, dude. Godspeed.
Shoot, I gotta marathon everything through. Oh, and we have our Deoxys raid tomorrow too.
Yeah. Shouts to Pokemon Go, man. The Kanto event ended. Thank God, dude. I hate to say it, I was starting to get bored of catching Charmander every day, dude. No, I think I was only disappointed because I was trying to catch a shiny, man, so I could trade it over to you, man, so you could have a shiny. And there were points where I would just click on a Charmander and run away. It's not a shiny. I don't care, man.
Dude, I was trying to do that with Bulbasaur. I was like, oh, is this going to be for Brent? Oh,
yeah,
no,
dude,
it's a greenback.
Dude, I have like 300 Charizard candy, 300 Bulbasaur candy. I don't need to catch any more of these guys, dude. I'm good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man. So that'd be exciting. A report came out that Pokemon Go has finally topped $2 billion in profits, man, since first coming out. So printing money over there right now. They just need to put in battles, and then they'll be making more money. Do you actually think that's gonna happen? I think with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee coming out, I don't think they're gonna do battles. I think they're gonna do battles through that game.
Yeah, I think because they have to balance everything in all of the attacks and animation, CP leveling. So I don't think battling is ever going to come to Pokemon Go. They're just going to use that.
I feel you actually.
Let's go stuff.
Okay. But yeah, Pokemon, dude. Oh, okay, man. Let's talk about real quick. This is gonna be like a 2-hour podcast, man. But real quick, man. Let's just talk about how the internet is gonna be the end of mankind, dude.
Oh, dude, how did we not talk about that? And that's what surprised me too. It's just like it just blew up all over the internet,
dude. So when was that? That Nintendo Direct, the most recent one, I think they revealed the new Mario game or something, and there's a little crown that Toad could pick up, and if Toad picks it up, he turns into Toadette, a princess, right? I mean, is Toad confirmed a dude? Did we ever?
No, it's the girl Toad.
Oh, the girl Toad. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If she picks up the princess crown, which is gonna be coming in the next game, I think. I think that's gonna be her power. Anyway, she turns into like a lesser version of Peach. So, that's where that whole internet just came out of nowhere.
The internet took that shit and fucking ran with it, bro, and made Bowsette, man. What the fuck, dude?
Exactly, which is supposed to be the crown of Bowser and mixed with the Toadette, and then boom, you have a baby. You have Bowsette or Browsette, or I don't even know, forgot the name. But basically, the internet thought it was such a good idea. They took one guy's like art or something like that, and they just now it's all over the internet. I was surprised to even see articles about it,
dude.
Tweets about it,
dude.
Instagram,
dude.
God.
They're about to have a convention, or they have like a petition going around to make Bowsette canon, dude. Like it's crazy.
Crap.
So I think, where did I first find this? I think I first heard about it on a stream. This dude Trihex, who speedruns Yoshi's Island, right? He was talking about it, and I was like, "What the hell is Bowsette?" So I did a quick Google search. Should have been in incognito mode for sure. Found the Reddit, and it was just like 3 or 4 pages of like a chick version of Bowser, you know, and not all of these were safe for work. So definitely glad I looked it up at home. Again, should have opened up an incognito browser, dude, right? So I'm like, oh, whatever. Okay, that's cool, you know. The next day, I think this was on like Tuesday or something, right? Tuesday or Monday. Wednesday of that week, trying to go to Reddit, and I accidentally click on the Bowsette one. Look, I'm so trash. Accidentally. So I accidentally click on the Bowsette one instead of like one of the regular Reddits I go to. The day before, the first time I looked at it, there was like 2,000 people subscribed to this Reddit. In 2 days, they gained like 25,000 subscribers, dude. This thing fucking blew up. And I think, didn't you check yesterday and there was like 30 pages worth of Bowsette shit on there?
It was supposed to be, I think it was like 5, and then a couple days later, there's 30 pages, and I was like,
"Damn, dude!
Oh, what is going on?" You know, and then it's just crazy how people can write anything about video games, and then he wrote articles, particular articles about it, so it was all over the internet, and then it just suddenly, God, you know, since I have that, it was popping up in my YouTube feed of like the analysis of Bowsette and why is it popular and the thing too, it's actually there was a concept or whatnot that was in the Mario Odyssey books that released in Japan, and it was it's not Bowsette, but basically it was like a Bowser Peach kind of thing, and she had red hair and you know all the color themes of Bowser, but like a plain dress and whatnot. But you know, I think the fans like really took, you know, a liking to the other version of the fan-made version, and now it's just like non-stop of, I think maybe because they were not heartbroken, but you know, they're tired of saving the princess, so they wanted like a badass princess.
What did I see? One of the comics I saw in there was or maybe this was the original comic, but it was from Mario Odyssey. How you know the ending where Peach walks away from both Mario and Bowser.
Yep.
So it was that. It was like a comic strip of that ending, and then Bowser and Mario kind of look at each other, and Mario hands him the crown, and he turns into Bowsette. I was like, oh my fucking god, dude, this is for real. There's actually a story here, man. And of course, and so this is what got me into like revisiting. I mean, we all know the internet rules, right? Or the rules of the internet, you know. I think the most infamous one is Rule 34. If it exists, there's a porn of it, right? Which I feel like that was how this thing started originally, man. It was a porn before it got into Bowsette being dressed. I think I saw her naked before I saw her dressed, dude. But did some more research into it, and I guess there's another rule, Rule 63, where
What is that?
if there's a guy version, there's a girl version of it, or there's like a gender bent version of it, you know? Like, so since Bowser's a guy, of course, Rule 63, he's on the internet, there's gonna be a girl version of Bowsette. So there's like, you know, Jasmine and Aladdin from Disney.
And the
like,
roles
are reversed. Yeah. Jasmine's Aladdin and Aladdin's Jasmine. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, the rules of the internet, right? So it's wild, man. Just how much of this is true and how ridiculous it sounds when you're reading it, but you're like, Jesus, dude. It's out of control. It's 2018, man, you know, and we're making anime porn, bro. With all the technology, we have more technology today than we've ever had in the entire time of the universe, of mankind, whatever. And we're drawing anime porn.
We're not using it for great. Yeah, I think
some people could argue this is for great.
Yeah, exactly. I think my professor is telling me that. He was like, you know, we have the most advanced technology in all of our smartphone, in the palm of our hand, and we're like using it to look up, you know, Facebook, Instagram, and not using it for great things. And I was like, that's really true, you know, like we're not using it for great things. Oh
my fucking god, dude.
Yep, internet.
The internet.
Thank you.
Internet is crazy. Yeah, thank you, internet. Thank you for Bowsette, dude. Do you think this will die anytime soon, dude?
No, actually, it looks like it's probably gonna like stick around and blow up some more. And I don't know, man. The internet's crazy. When they latch on to something, they make careers out of it.
If Nintendo makes Bowsette canon, holy shit, dude, that would be crazy, man.
Exactly. They might have to have like a toned down version though.
Oh, 100%, a billion %, dude. They can't be throwing all this shit on the internet into a video game for kids, dude. And don't take this in any way for me to like discourage all this Bowsette stuff. I think it's fucking cool, man. Definitely keep it up, dude. But Jesus, man, it's kind of crazy how this thing blew up, dude. What's next, dude? What's the next girl version you think that's gonna blow up or something?
They already made that the Boo Ghost version.
That's right. Is that next on the poppin' list, man?
Yeah, and then they're gonna like look at every freaking, you know, bad guy inside Mario. They're like, okay, let's combine it with Peach and have the Peach form of it.
Just have a dude Peach, dude.
A Mario Peach.
What else? The piranha plant. They'll throw the crown on that, dude.
Boom. See,
Chomp.
You made a new game.
Yeah, dude. There's too much stuff out there to put that crown on, man. Link. Wait, Link is kind of gender neutral, isn't he? She?
Link. I think it's a he.
Oh, okay.
But they made a girl version before the game released or something like that.
Oh yeah, I thought that was supposed to be a thing. Like you could choose to be a girl or a guy Link.
Yeah, because they thought it was gonna be a girl. They weren't sure, so people like started making like the fan stuff, fan images of a girl Link.
Yeah, Rule 63, bro. It's out there. Oh man, crazy stuff though. But yeah, you got anything else, man?
Nope.
How's Mirror been? Good?
Which one?
I'm just messing with you. Dude. I was asking how Mirror has been.
I don't know what game are you talking about. What is this game?
But yeah, so that'll be it for us this week. We'll see you guys next week. But until then, Rick, some words of wisdom.
For everybody, press Control N, and then you can Google Bowser.
All right, guys, see you next week.